What's good, people? It's Kay, and today I'm reacting to the Life is Strange 3 reveal, which came as part of the Square Enix Presents Spring Thing events. They basically did their Nintendo Direct style presentation for us to see, and headlining that event was the big reveal of Life is Strange 3. I'm actually kind of surprised that we're getting Life is Strange 3 and that we're getting it so soon after 2. I am a big Life is Strange fan. I have been since the first game. I am so excited to see what this game will be about because I know that they're going to do something different. They're going to take a kind of new approach while keeping it still rooted in what we know Life is Strange to be about, which is like these connections to place and family. But it's interesting how they've sort of evolved the series as it's gone along. Like the first game was very sort of Nancy Drew style Twin Peaks mashup of investigating a rural town, I guess. And then the second game was all about a quest for discovering your identity, a story about brotherhood, and a story about race. So I wonder what direction they'll go in for this story. We have a new protagonist. I saw that picture along with everyone else where it was just like a character with their back. But we also get a new power, and I'm really excited to see what that will be as well. So we've had time travel, we've had telekinesis. What do we get next? And I'm also aware that it's not Don't Nod developing Life is Strange games anymore. They've moved it over to Deck 9, which is the studio that made the Before the Storm Life is Strange game where you play as Chloe. And you know, that was cool. It's always tough with prequels, especially to a story like Life is Strange, where the ending is so defined and the fates of these characters are so defined. It can be hard to invest in something like the relationship between Chloe and Rachel when we know what happens to Rachel in the end. But another reason I'm excited is just to see what they can do with a fresh story, a fresh protagonist, a fresh base to work on. We'll find out. I'm just so excited to see what this can be. I'm so excited to eventually get my hands on this game. Enough rambling, let's get to it. There it is, Deck 9.
When I moved to Haven Springs, I hadn't seen my brother Gabe in years.
Is that who it is? Oh my god, she looks so cool.
It's just so good to see you again.
Alex.
Welcome to Haven.
This place is pretty sweet.
Haven. Huh?
I'm glad you two met. Is this dude my best friend?
And this dude hands me the best beers?
Alex, right? I'm Steph. I didn't realize.
Steph from Before the Storm.
Years.
Well, what do you think?
I love it. I really let myself believe.
Welcome
Oh
home.
yeah.
I don't know what to believe now.
Oh.
Except Gabe is dead.
Damn. Just like that. That's crazy.
This one's for you, Gabe.
So that's where we're going.
Hearing
Okay.
everyone talk about my brother, about the life he had here with all of you, I lost the chance to have that.
What happened to Gabe was a senseless, tragic accident.
It wasn't an accident.
Son, now is not the time.
Oh.
Are you okay? No. They're definitely hiding something.
Huh.
What happened here?
Haven's a community. We help each other.
Alex, be careful.
There's something you should know about me.
Yo, what? The power of
I know
emotion.
what other people are feeling. I can see these auras around them.
An empath? She's Raven. She's Raven from the Teen Titans.
Angry, or sad, or afraid.
Oh
I feel
my.
it too. When I focus, I can even understand why they're feeling it. And if somebody's feeling something big, it infects me.
Oh,
and I lose
interesting.
control.
Interesting.
I've never told anyone. But now I can find out what's really going on.
You'll need help.
I've got your back.
See that wink? Yeah, let's go. True colors. Wow, that looks really nice. I'm really intrigued by that. She looks so cool.
Life is Strange True Colors is a game we at Deck 9 have been working on since 2017. It has been a real labor of love for us.
Wow,
We
okay.
are so delighted to share it with you today. At its heart, this is a game about empathy, about how we connect to each other. The story is driven by a complex mystery with supernatural elements, all brought to life by an incredible cast, led by our new player character Alex, played by Erica Mori.
What I love most about Alex is she's this smart, resilient young woman who, at the start of the game, has already weathered a really difficult life in the foster care system. But she
Okay.
still has this hope for the future, that somewhere she can find a place to call home.
At the invitation of her brother, Alex travels to the town of Haven
I was seeing some
Springs.
gameplay.
It's a fresh start, framed against the beautiful mountain vistas, sprawling lakes, and colorful architecture. A setting that embodies the promise of every small town across America.
It's her chance
It's
to
really
start
pretty, isn't it?
over
With all those
in a place
flowers.
where she can rebuild her relationship with Gabe after 8 years apart.
She was in the foster system for 8 years, and now she's meeting her brother again. Okay, that's interesting. I like that premise. I gotta say it again, her character design is
What's
just
the protocol
perfect.
for reuniting with your long-lost sister after 8 years?
In Life is Strange True Colors, Alex's power, or curse, as she calls it at the start of the game, is an unparalleled empathic ability, the psychic power of empathy. It allows her to experience the emotions of other characters around her.
She
but
is
it's
Raven.
also a volatile power that can bleed into and take over her own emotions if she's not careful.
This power is a key part
That's
of the game
interesting.
and very much under your control. And there are plenty of opportunities to use your power as you freely explore the streets and spaces of Haven Springs.
On her very first day in Haven Springs, Alex meets our cast, including 2 new friends and potential romantic interests, Ryan and Steph, who fans may recognize from Life is Strange Before the Storm.
I'm glad they brought her back. She was a big
Our
fan
extensive
favorite.
cast of characters, full performance capture technology, captured and animated here in-house at Deck 9.
This Alex seems like a really
Advanced entry into
interesting
space
character.
and the true next generation of
Super
Life is
cool.
Strange.
I'm really happy with this. A lot of detail just going on everywhere. I'm really impressed by the visuals of this game, of what we're seeing here.
And now, the big news that you've been waiting for. We're absolutely thrilled to announce that the full game is coming out in September. That's right.
Wait, what?
Full game.
So
You don't
no-
have to wait for the rest of the story. You can binge it all at once or use the chapter breaks to take a much-needed emotional breather.
Oh my
You can
goodness.
pre-order Life is Strange True Colors right now on lifeisstrange.com. There's also one more very special thing.
What else
yet
could
to
there be?
reveal.
What else could there
We're
be?
delighted to announce that Life is Strange and Life is Strange Before the Storm return in an all-new remastered collection featuring
What?
enhanced
Oh,
visuals
wow.
and animations.
Oh, that's so great. Those games really deserve it. That is awesome.
The Life is Strange Remastered Collection will be available as a part of the Life is Strange True Colors Ultimate Edition, and also available standalone later on this year.
I am just stunned. Wow. Wow. I feel so happy right now. Everything they gave us there, I was just like, yes, more of this, please. I guess I should begin with our new main character, Alex. She's an empath. She can read people's emotions, but if she loses control, or if those emotions are too strong perhaps, then she can be taken over by those emotions herself, and it can affect her and her actions. We learned a bit about her backstory there, so she was apparently, from what I gathered, she was in the foster care system for 8 years, so I'm guessing something bad happened to her parents when she and her brother were younger, but now, I guess once you turn 18, as I understand it, you age out of the system, so she's free to reconnect with her brother, who's in this lovely little town called Haven. It just looks so gorgeous. like with all that natural beauty, all the flowers, all the lights coming down. The buildings are really nicely designed. If I'm not mistaken, I think that was a Colorado flag that we saw in one of those shots. It seems that the story is going in more of a investigative direction again, which is interesting, but they're also pairing it with these big themes of loss, of course, grief. I'm interested to see what else comes up as a result of that. You know, one thing we know about Life is Strange games is that they like to focus on small communities and what upheaval does to those communities, how it can reveal people's, I guess, true colors, for lack of a better phrase. It can reveal more about who they are, what they're feeling, what they're hiding on the inside beneath that really pleasant, picturesque veneer. And it'll be interesting to see how we use Alex's powers as a way to investigate what happened to her brother. It's interesting that they just didn't even mince words, just like, yep, her brother's gonna die. It's gonna be immediate, you know, all this happy stuff you're seeing with their reunion and like her having hope for a fresh start. It's just like, yep, it's out the window. We gotta kill him off, and then we gotta find out what happened to him. That's some classic Life is Strange shit right there. Again though, it'll be interesting to see how we use her abilities to investigate what happened to him and find the truth. I can only imagine what sort of shenanigans that could create. It spotlighted 2 new characters. Of course there was her brother, but we know he's not going to be around for very long. But we get introduced to 2 other characters who, I guess, like co-stars, I guess. They also pointed out that both of them are going to be potential romantic interests for Alex. Again, the bisexual thing, really nice. Forgive me, I cannot remember the name of the guy. I'm so sorry. I'll put it in when I'm editing. There's so much going on in my head that it just totally slipped my mind. I wasn't paying attention. Of course, we get reintroduced to Steph. They're bringing back Steph from Before the Storm. She was such a big fan favorite from that game. Anyone who played Before the Storm will remember the Dungeons and Dragons with Chloe and Steph. I think his name is Mikey, when they all played their game outside Blackwell, and that was one of the most iconic scenes from Before the Storm. I'm really interested to see how she ended up in Haven after being in Blackwell during the time when Chloe was going there. I'm really interested to see what sort of, like, if this is going to be like a team sort of a situation going on between Steph, Alex, and this new guy. The 3 of them get together to investigate what happened. I wonder if that's sort of going to be what they're going for here, even though Alex is going to be the main driver of everything. I think I just covered like mostly everything to do with the story and the characters. The potential of this is like really, really interesting. When you give something a name like True Colors, you expect to see a lot of moments which create clarity, moments to do with honesty. I think it's a really inspired choice to have an empathic ability as the main feature of this story. They didn't get too much into what sort of choice-based system was going to be in play here. Obviously, in Before the Storm, they were really limited with what choices you could actually make, especially in the grand scheme of the overall Chloe Arcadia-based story. They didn't really say too much about like where things could go in this story, but they did say at the very end, like, you will still have to make decisions that will shape Alex's ending and the fate of the town as well. I think this has a really strong potential to come together and be just something really, really cool. They dropped a bit of a bombshell. They're just going to drop this whole game in one go. No more wait 3 months before the next episode comes out. It's all going to be here, ready to go, all at once. You know, you can play the whole thing through in one sitting if you want. Use chapter breaks. The game still has chapter breaks in it, so you can take breaks when you need to, save you from overloading on what I'm sure is going to be a very emotional story. I don't know how I'm going to play this. Probably be on PC. And then they even announced that they've remastered the first game and Before the Storm. You know, people have their criticisms about the first Life is Strange game. It's seen as the weaker of the 2. Not everyone likes Max. Not everyone likes Chloe. Not everyone likes these characters or the story. Some of the writing is a bit cringe here and there. But for me personally, I have a really deep fondness for the first Life is Strange game, and I think it really deserved to be given an extra coat of paint, if you will. I'm really happy that they've endeavored to go that direction with the first game, and even with Before the Storm. And it's gonna be part of the Ultimate Edition for Life is Strange True Colors. I am so pleased with that. That was everything I could have wanted and more. When you throw in the stuff about the first 2 games, when you throw in stuff about it's just going to be one complete game, I think this is so cool. I'm gonna keep my eyes peeled for updates on this game as they come out between, you know, we have what, like less than 6 months before this game comes out? Really not that long when you think about it. Anyway, that's all for now. Thanks for watching, and I'll see you in the next one.